Hello, everybody. One Salty Beach or OSB, but coming back through again. I figured since storytime videos are pretty popular with this bunch in the girl verse, I figured I would tell the story of why my famous cousin doesn't come to family gatherings anymore. Mind you, this has been probably about 20 years ago. I was still a very young, very brash person. I was still drinking at that point. I wasn't drinking, though, at that moment when this particular interaction took place, but neither here nor there. One of my cousins, he is the second cousin, was a very notable football player for the time. He actually played for FSU for a while, and then he went pro. I don't know if he's retired now or not. I don't really keep up with him. Far as I know, I mean, the last thing that I knew that he was doing is he did like some commentary work, but that's about it. We were at a family get-together for Easter, and everything was going great until he and his mother got into a very heated verbal back and forth about the fact that his mother would not frivolously spend money on gaudy, overpriced things because they came in her car, and he was angry because it did not suit his rock star pro ball player persona or image that he was trying to uphold. Mind you now, she was on the verge of tears. She was very upset. She's a very good-natured woman. Has worked for everything that she's ever had to scrape sometimes to make ends meet. And you know, that's pretty par for the course with my family. I mean, my mom used to tell everybody, we're poor white trash. We just moved out of the trailer. That's all. But I was sitting there down the table from them, and I am hearing him, hearing him talk to his mother like a dog. And I got extremely upset because I am very much the type that I do not like bullies. I will not tolerate other people being bullied around me. Some of that is because my entire childhood and most of my teenage years, and even some of my young adulthood, I was bullied because of, being a fat girl. It is what it is. And it's made me incredibly tough, and it's made me very intolerant of people who exhibit that kind of behavior. But I turned and looked at him and I said, "Who exactly do you think you are?" And he snapped his head around and looked at me. He was like, "Nobody's talking to you." I said, "No, bitch, I'm talking to you." I said, "I don't know who you think you are." I said, "But that woman that you're being a complete fool to right now," I said, "she is the only reason that you are where you are. She worked 2 and 3 jobs to pay for you to have cleats, for you to have everything that you could possibly need so that you could actually move forward and do better than she did coming up. At the minimum, you may not owe her money, but you do owe her respect." I said, and I don't even know why you're acting like you're something special. You're a second-rate quarterback, bro, and you have been since you played college ball. I said, realistically, I think the only reason you went pro is because they needed a token white boy. I said, so all I'm going to say is that your money don't make you better than nobody here. You can stow that shit. And if you got a problem with me, we can gladly go out there on the asphalt and settle our differences if you want to keep running that mouth. I said, but as long as I'm around, you are not going to talk to her that way. He didn't have a whole lot to say. He actually got up and walked away and just disappeared. for like a half an hour, which was wild because we were actually at Torreya State Park, that I took you guys to when we went for Easter. That big beautiful house on the bluff and everything, same place. So all I can figure is maybe he went trail walking or he went up to the house and just sat at the house. But time came, the event was over. His mom was getting ready to leave, and all of a sudden he showed back up. He wouldn't look at me. He wouldn't get in the car. He just went and straight and got in the car. Before they left, she hugged me and she told me thank you. And she said, I appreciate you doing that for me. She said, I just didn't have it in me to fight with him about it anymore. But that's just the way it goes. I mean, I'm not trying to be ugly, but I do not understand the rationale of people who get a little bit of money in their pocket or they get a little bit of notoriety and they lose their mind. They act a straight ass to everybody they come in contact with because it's not necessary. I say that because, I've met plenty of well-known people, the town where I'm from. We start growing our football players from birth. I mean, from Pee Wee football on up, they have pretty much the same coaching staff. They all use the same playbooks. By the time they get to high school, they are a well-oiled player. They are just serious, down in it, cur dog type stuff. Okay, they ain't playing. And because of that sort of behavior, it's truly, it's truly a Friday Night Lights town where I am originally from. We have produced 3 pro football players, 1 pro baseball player, and the band. There's a drummer for a band that was real popular in the 90s and early 2000s is from there too. So, I mean, it isn't like, there's a need to be conceited. So there's that. And then, I have met plenty of famous people over the years. A dear friend of mine actually played for the Denver Broncos back in the day, 1986, 1987, and he is such a genuinely nice man. I mean, genuinely nice man. He's huge. I wouldn't want to cross him, but even when I've seen him angry, he is still very chill. But he talks to people the way he wants people to talk to him. And the fact that he has a little bit of money and he has his education and he is an established person, secondary to the fact that he played pro ball, hasn't changed who he is. Whereas my cousin, well, I mean, I didn't really know him that well before he went pro. Didn't really even know him that well when he played college ball. But I have been told that he was kind of an asshole before all that happened anyway. So, anyway, that is the story of why my famous cousin no longer comes to the barbecue. Figured that might fascinate you guys. Anyway, just figured I'd pass it along. Thanks for stopping in. Just having a little bit of fun with the new equipment. Talk to you guys soon. Bye.